Yom Yerushalayim Sameach. Yesterday we were able to celebrate Yom Yerushalayim, and it was a very special time, especially because in Israel, you know, with the COVID epidemic, they are limited in what they can do, but there were people outside and celebrating Yom Yerushalayim. Jerusalem is the center, it is the eternal capital of Israel, and even at this time it's causing so many problems with the Palestinians that for the Palestinians, they never was the capital, they never was something important for the Muslims as is for the Jews, but for the Israelis. But you know, politics is politics. But at least when you have the right, you can continue in this sense. Even the politicians and the world is against Israel. Well, having Jerusalem in our side, and finally a president in the United States has the courage and has the word to keep it. All the presidents of the United States for a long time, they promised that as soon as they became presidents, they were going to make Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. Do you know, I don't know if you know this, but in the United Nations, the only country in the world that was not allowed to say where the capital of the country was going to be was Israel. They were not allowed. And finally, has passed presidents, Democrats and Republicans, all of them with the same promises. The last one, a Democrat, Obama, that we sadly know we has a bad taste about him as Israelis, as Jews, as people that believe in the Torah. You know, he was something very bad for Israel. And then finally came a man who promised that he was going to do it, and he's doing a lot of things that even many people didn't think he was going to do it, against everybody's better advice, supposedly. And look at it, what's going to be the end of the world. And look at, we are still together. Well, we need to thank those who allowed to arrive to this place. You know, the 28th of Sivan in Jerusalem, in the time in June, when they 1967, when finally Israel took Jerusalem. You see how they took it and how was the city before Israel took it. You couldn't believe. You know, they look like a public bathrooms. That was something. And they are dying and crying that this is the city and that Israel has been desecrated in the city when they use as a public bathroom all this area. This is what is so sad when we hear people or news that are totally against the truth. Anyway, going the next step is we are getting to this special book. I call it this special book, Bamidbar, for many reasons. But one of the one that brings to me very close is my parasha of my bar mitzvah. You know, and you will never, as a Jewish boy, you will never forget what is your bar mitzvah reading, and has a very special meaning to me. But also, it's a very special book, not because of me, by the way, but it's a special book because being the first book of the Humash, or the 5 books of the Torah, this is the book that has less than any other book about rules and regulations, but it's teaching about us, about trying to start living as community, to be together, to work together. Look at how we start this book in the wilderness, Bamidbar. You know, the beginning of this book is, and the Lord said to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. But I don't like to use the word Bamidbar as in the wilderness. I like to say it in the desert. It's a better term. I was looking in the Spanish, how do you translate wilderness? And they say wilderness, desert. I say, that's a term. You know, it's a wild, it means savage and cook, no refined or anything. But there is something about the wilderness, there's something about the desert that we need to understand why this book is so important and how the life of Israel start becoming as a community. This book is going to talk to us for the last 38 years of the journey of Israel from Egypt to the Promised Land. You know, you're going to ask yourself, in Shemot, say that this route, this journey, will take no more than 11 days. You know? How can you compare 11 days with 40 years? You know, maybe they like to do a lot of sightseeing. I can see that. They went around and around and around and around and around. I don't know what else they could see anymore. I think they knew the land by memory. Something is going to happen in this book. At the time of the third year, finally, they are in the border to get into the Promised Land. And the Moshe Rabbeinu is going to send people to explore the land. And these explorers come back with bad news, and that creates a big problem. And the problem will be about they have not developed enough trust in the Creator. And I want to talk to you about different issues. I want to talk to you the issue about community, and I want to talk to you the issue about trusting. Because it's important, these two areas that we have no, sometimes we do not exercise. I have been teaching, sharing with you for the last years, more than 8 years now, things that I came out of what we call it, out of the regular way of seeing scriptures, you know. And I was trying to tell people about that it's not about to be literal, it's not about to be black and white, because we Jewish people, we love to walk in the gray area. And that's how the Creator made us, gray area. And why we walk in the gray area? Because the Creator gave us the Shirah of Shear. You have heard me this before. You know, free will. And free will means to exercise your own will. And exercising your own will brings, of course, I am repeating myself, by the way, sorry, but it's important that you follow me. The responsibility. You are responsible for your own acts. And you cannot make others to do what you do. It's you who are responsible for your own acts. And to be responsible means that you have the freedom to do it or not to do it. And Judaism, our sages, they have got this idea that share with us is about the Yetzer Ra and the Yetzer Tov. You know, about the evil or the good. But it's not about doing wrong things and to do right things. It's about balance. And sometimes we need balance in our life. You know, everything is not one way. We need to learn to live with each other and to live as a community. Interestingly enough, and you have read in the beginning of this first Aliyah, that the Creator is going to name the 12 tribes of Israel. 12 tribes. But later on, we are going to discover there are not any longer 12. There are 13. That already can give you an idea. The Creator is advancing and it's not static. You know, the only thing that has been, hear me please, the only thing that the Creator has put on the rock is the 10 Commandments. Everything else is up to us to see, to discern, to share, and to walk with Him. We don't like this idea because many of us, or we are very literalist, very fanatics, or some of us, we are very open-minded, whatever is okay. This is the risk, Beshirah of sheep. We need to have responsibility. We need to look at the thing. We need to make certain time decisions. This is the reason that we are on the gray area. Nothing is simple. We need to learn to be responsible, not only for ourselves, for the people who are around us. When we become, I call it fanatics, we have a tendency that everything is black and white. Everything is black and white. I am so glad that in Judaism, long time ago, we have learned not to be black and white. We have learned about discernment on what is right through the times, through the thing. You know, one of the greatest tragedies in Judaism was the destruction of the Mishkan, the big Mishkan, the temple. And almost the Israel was going to disappear because we don't have any longer a temple, the center. But we were able to come together and we were able to continue. And with the times, we needed to get certain things in order to keep ourselves together. And here comes, to me, the greatest time in the history of Israel after Moshe Rabbeinu. Is brought Yeshua, our great Rabbi and prophet. And he came at the right time and the right moment to bring back his people, back in order. Back to what? To Torah. Back to the principles of the Torah. Why? Because we have gone so far away from the real Torah that we have other Torahs. We have other teachings. And the other teachings were overtaking over the Torah. And everybody start giving their own understandings. They created a compendium. They called the Sheve al Peh, the oral Torah. And that became for the Israel, for the Jewish people, that became the second Torah, the oral Torah. And the oral Torah took precedence over the Torah. With Yeshua, supposedly the disciples, the Talmidim, that I don't believe they were the Jewish people, they were the Gentiles, by the way, they redo a new Torah. They call it the new Torah. Because the old one was the old Torah, now they have the new Torah. They created a new Torah. They call it the Gospels. And these Gospels became the Torah of the Gentiles. And they had in their theology this statement. And you can go to any systematic theology course in Christian religion, and they tell you this thing. The New Testament interpret the Old Testament. And what the New Testament say, the Old Testament is right. In other words, I'm sorry, I said it the wrong way. If the New Testament say, made the Old Testament obsolete. Okay? The New Testament basically replaced the Old Testament. And already the terms old and new, they already tell you the old is discarded, the new is better. And this is the idea. And the idea has been brought out by the whole world. And Yeshua, our great rabbi, a great prophet, a Mashiach type, what he came exactly to the opposite, to bring us back to Torah, not to destroy Torah. Yeah. Then, what is the Bamidbar is important, because we need to understand how Israel started and how they themselves they have problems, and how the Creator gave the Israel the opportunity to questioning and to keep growing and asking. And you're going to see at the end of the Bamidbar, they are going to give it more rights to the women that they didn't have. And this is telling you that the Torah has the 10 basic principles called the 10 Commandments, and everything needs to be according to the 10 Commandments. Fairness, equality, judgment, and the Creator in the middle. And this is how we form community, and how we form relationship between each other. This introduction that I have given to you is to show you that it's not that there is changes in the Word of God in the sense that God changed his mind. But we need to learn to apply the principles of the Torah according to the time that we are living. Not everything is the same. And there are certain things that are inamovable. The 10 Commandments. They are no, you cannot change it. But then, the Torah also gives us what I call it the ritual laws and the moral laws. The ritual laws are for the time that you have certain things, where you live, where you were doing, when you were going, when you had the presence of God and everything else. Those were accommodating according to the situations. But what never changed were the moral laws. They are eternal. And what we are doing today, interestingly enough, in certain circles, we are keeping as sacred the ritual laws, and the moral laws are according to whatever you think. It's just the opposite. And this is the reason I say we walk in the gray area. And walking in the gray area, the gray is neither black, it's not white. You need to find it. Well, this is now why this book is so important. Because this book is not talking about rituals. It's talking about making decisions. To walk with the Creator through the extent of the wilderness, and things happen. And there are situations among the people of Israel that need to be dealt with. Everything needed to be dealt. Now, everything was new that was happening. They needed to be situations, resolutions, and consequences of our actions. We are going to see it through the time. What I would like now is you also can you show the verses, the last verses of the first chapter of Bamidbar. Okay, from 48. I'm going to learn. This is after the census, and he's going to separate the Creator, the 12 tribes of Israel, plus the 13th tribe, the Levites. Remember, Joseph's tribe was divided in two, Ephraim and Manasseh. And these two tribes configure the 12 tribes of Israel, and the tribe of Levi became the 13th tribe. I don't know if you are aware, in among ourselves, the Jewish people, the number 13 is a good number. For the rest of the world, especially in Christianity, number 13 is a number of bad luck, or ugly number. Many buildings that have been built all over the world, they have floor 12 and they jump to floor 14. They never put the number 13. For us Jewish people, number 13 is a wonderful number. In Gematria, is the number of Ehad, the unity, one, the oneness of the Creator. And interestingly enough, the tetragrammaton, Yehovah, what it means is 26, 2 by 13. And means also is a very nice number and means about the Creator. And this is a number. Well, we had a 13 tribes. And then, Peggy, can you make a little chart because I cannot see the...
Oops, what, you can't see what?
I can move it to the, I cannot read the...
Oh.
It's too much now, I cannot read the Hebrew.
Okay, hold on.
Too much. Can you make it smaller?
Yeah, let me try. Is that better?
There is better. Okay, thank you. He said, Vayaver Adonai el Moshe lemor, and the Lord said to Moses, howbeit the tribe of Levi, thou shalt no number, neither thou shalt take the sum of among the children of Israel. But appoint you, the Levites, over the tabernacle of the testimony, and all over the furniture. By the way, the tabernacle of testimony, that is the Mishkan, and they call it also the Moed, and here they call it the Ha-Edut, to tell you they have different names about the Mishkan, no? All over the furniture, and therefore all over that belongs to it. They shall bear the tabernacle and all the furniture, therefore, and they shall minister unto it, and they shall encamp, settle around, okay, the tabernacle. And God is going to give you an order how to camp and how to travel together, Israel. And when the tabernacle settled forward, the Levites shall take it down, and when the tabernacle is to be pitched, the Levites shall set it up, and the common man that draweth nigh shall be put to death, or draw it near, or get close to it, be put to death. And the children of Israel, and instead to be, shall put to death. I don't like that translation. Here, the Behasar HaKerev, the stranger who goes close, dies. That's what he says. And here, and the children of Israel shall pitch their tents, every man with his own camp, and every man with his own standard, according to their host. Okay, according to the chief. Look at this. Every children of Israel, Behanu bnei Israel, each al machanehu, each one is going to camp. Each al the glue, according to their banner, you know, in the camp. And they are going to be under their own chief. Already they're creating separation of tribes. But the Levites shall pitch round about the tabernacle of the testimony, that there be no wrath upon the congregation. Below ye kesef. You know, going to be something bad. The Levite, and shall keep the charge of the tabernacle of the testimony. In other words, the Levites were going to be the fence between the rest of the tribes of Israel and the Ohel Moed, or the Ohel Edut, the Ten of Testimonies. Look at what he said. This is what the children of Israel did according to the Lord commanded Moses. I like this. By Yashuv b'nei Israel, kechol asher siva Adonai es Moshe ken asud. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded to Moses. They did it. They were following and they were obedient. You can take a page. Thank you. Thank you. Look at this picture. The Lord is not only giving instructions, but is ordering them to be divided by tribes. And each tribe is going to have their own place. This is important. They're going to have their own people. They have their own place. And each one is going to have a function. After we are going to read later on that even the families of the Levi, there were three families and three children of Levi: Gershon, Kehat, and Merari. And these three are going to form three sides of around the Mishkan. And the main entrance is going to be taken by Aaron and his family, who is also from the tribe of Kehat. And each one had a function. Each one was important. And here there is a term about community that we need to learn. Not all of us, we are the same. And the same idea, when I say thing, that we do exactly the same thing. But all of us, we are co-equals. In the Creator model, was not who was more important than the other. What was important was the role that they needed to do, their office. I have mentioned this before, and I want to remind you something. Our Creator is a creator of order. He put everything in order. He doesn't like messes. Okay? And when I myself, when I come to because I am messy sometimes, you know, in my room, in my office, when it's a mess, I don't like it. And I don't like to go to a place who is a mess. To be honest with you, I don't like it. I feel something bad is happening to me. You know, in my house, when I open the refrigerator and I see all stuff, I close the refrigerator and run away. I cannot take it. I cannot deal with too much mess. And I am telling you, I am messy. Don't misunderstand. I am better than anybody else. It's only that I don't like it. Okay. The Creator gave us an order. Do you remember, a long time ago maybe, I gave you this picture, or this example about a mosaic, you know? And I told you the mosaic is made of little pieces of different ceramics, colors. You know, to me, one of the most beautiful mosaic, huge mosaic that I have seen is in the University of Mexico, in the city of Mexico City. You know, beautiful, and all that university is full of mosaics. And I was incredible how beautiful job they did. But at one time I decided to get very close and to see it. And I got a little disappointed because I started seeing the pieces. And I lost the picture. What I needed to do in order to see a beautiful picture, I need to take my space. Do you think that here the Creator say, we just read it, by the way. If you are not part of the tribes of the Levites and you get close, you die. No? Give us pictures. The Hebrew language is a language of pictures. To make it's not a cognitive language that defines concepts, but that describe you, give you the picture. And that's the reason that Hebrew is so beautiful to understand this subject. And then he's putting, he said, every man in his own tribe. Don't get in the other tribe. Get in your tribe. No, but I like it more this. Go to your tribe. You know? But what? It's not fair. I can do whatever I want to do. Wait a minute. Order. Your rights ended when the rights of somebody else began. Simple. We don't need to make such a big deal about that. But what we need to make a big deal is about my role. What I have been called. What I can do. What is the area that I excel? What is the areas that I am good? What is the areas that I can do? You know, the Creator called Bezalel and Oholiab because they have certain characteristics and conditions. Then you have the tribes around, and each one had also the requirement from the Creator to be part of the army. And what around Israel, Michigan? Because they were protecting those who needed more protection. This is something that the Creator is giving little by little. And in this mosaic, each one of us, we are important. And when we miss or we fail to be in the mosaic, what happened with the mosaic? Leave the hole. I was just talking with my friend Baruch, and he said that the cardiologist has called him because it looks like that he has a hole in his heart, you know? And I say to him, you are a beggar, you are not a donut, you know? Because we Jewish people, we are beggars, and Gentiles, we are donuts. They look alike, but we are different. You know, the donut is soft and sweet. The beggar is hard and salty. But we look alike. What it means this? What I'm trying to tell you? Not because we look alike, okay? We have the same functions. Each one has their own function. And I don't need to envy anybody because he is not what he is. And these kind the problems. We are communities. And you know what is the worst thing that can happen to a community? When somebody starts taking a position that is not for that person. Only because ego, only because they want to be the center. Let me give you another illustration. Why the desert? Why this place? You are in the middle of the desert. You know, I don't know how many has seen the movie Lawrence of Arabia. You know, in this movie, Lawrence has two young men that are working with him, and suddenly one of them get lost and disappear in the desert. And what it means that when he separated from the group, death. You know, why in the desert they were always cross the desert in caravans? Because that is the way to survive. You cannot cross it by yourself. because you need help from others. Israel was like a caravan, a huge caravan, and they were helping each other. They protect each other. They needed each other. Everyone was important. In every community, there is no one that's more important than the other. Sometimes in the Western civilization world, we measure importance by how I am liked, or how many people look at me, or how popular I am. You know? And popularity doesn't give you anything. What it gives you is how hard you work for the community, how you bring the community together. And here is in another example. If I ask anybody what I mentioned, Baruch, a heart, because what is the part in our bodies that is the motor, the engine? You know, it's our heart. No? When our heart stops, we stop living. Our brains can be dead, but our heart continues. Any part of the world, we can take it out, but if we take our heart, we are dead. And how many of us we are able to see our hearts? How many of us say, oh, my beautiful heart? Huh? I'm going to decorate my heart. I'm going to do some cosmetics. If I was a girl, I want to put something in my heart, you know, to look beautiful. Nobody can see their heart. But this is so important. In a community, sometimes, the most vital, important part of the body are not seen. And what you see is not the most important. And the Creator was trying to show us this thing through his leaders, through Moshe, through Aaron. You are not the most important. You are serving the people, not the people serving you. And sometimes we do not have this understanding because we want to be number one. We want to figure out. We want to be the center of the attention. Our ego is so big. We are right. Everybody's wrong. We are the only one that we have the whole truth. And it's time that we take a little bit, a dose of humbleness. Or we, like I say, we eat our humble pie. And instead to think we are the center of the universe. The God has created us for a reason and for a function. And when we do not do our job, we don't do our role, the community fails. You can see it at home. You can see it in your community or in the largest community. When the people who have called to do their job, they don't do their job, the whole community crumbles. And there was a very important teaching in this beginning of the Bamidbar. Because you are going to be in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the wilderness. And the only ones that can help you to survive is your own community. If you don't have community, you're dead. You can be still alive, but it's those ones that they walk in the desert until they die. Their existence has no value at all. Because we are together in this. I know this here, my dear friend Buzz Johnson will understand this example. When you are in the middle of the ocean and the only thing that you see is water, and your ship capsizes or goes down, and you are the only survivor, and you're holding yourself on something, and the only thing that you look around and you don't see anybody. And what is the greatest thing when in that moment of desperation, you see a boat or a ship coming close to you and they can see you and rescue. And if you stay too long in the sea, you don't last. To be alone is death. How many people die, spiritually speaking, when they decided to go on their own and they do not want to be in community? How long they're going to last? Are you going to see that they sink, they drown, and they are dead? Then what the Creator was trying to tell Israel is that Israel only is going to survive as close as they can be with each other, as united as they can be. And you see, here he's not teaching us about to be all of the same. But what he was trying to teach us was about unity. And unity, no, unity doesn't mean to be all the same. But a unity, what it means is that we are together, that we have the same purpose, that we need to grow and to keep together. Unity doesn't mean that you need to think alike the others. You can have your own different opinions. You can have your own different ideas. And maybe not necessarily all your ideas are identical as the other people. But because you don't think exactly like the other, that means, oh, I cannot be with these people because we disagreed on something. They cannot be part of us. Why? Because the Creator is not asking us the unity and being clones. What he's asking is that each one is made as his likeness and image. And each one is important in the sight of God. It's so, to me sometimes, it's so sad when we do not understand the basic principles of the Torah and what the Creator is trying to teach us. He has the Levim, and among the Levim, he has 3 groups. He has Gershon, Kehat, and Merari. Each one of them has a different role. What about if Kehat say, I am tired to bring all the instruments and the artifacts of the temple, and I want to do what the Gershon, that is all the curtains, is in charge. Now I want to be in charge of the curtains. Give me this. And then Merari say, you have given me all the poles. I am tired with the poles. I want now the artifacts. A big, big problem. What is more important, to get the poles or to get the curtains or to get the artifacts? That's more important. What is important, that we're working together. Unity doesn't mean uniformity. Then maybe you have different ideas than I about certain things. That is going to make you my enemy. Maybe we disagree in certain areas. That means that we cannot work together. Who say that the only way they can work with somebody is we think alike? And this is the problem that many of the people have, especially in the religious area. More religious you are, more square head you are. Sorry to tell you. Why? Because you become fanatic. You become, my way is the only way. And the only way is the Creator. Not my way, the Creator's way. And who am I to say to people that I discovered the true way of God? I am the only one that has the true way of God. You know, God is only going to work through my way. And this is when you get stuck up in your way of thinking, your religion, and your whatever you want to call it. You know why the Islam is so terrible? Because Islam kill you if you don't think like them or you are not like them. Do you know that not long ago, no more than 200 years ago, maybe 300 years ago, the Catholic Church used to do the same thing? And you know why we know so well? Because we, the Jewish people, we know better than anybody else what it means persecution, because you are different to the rest. You know that for more than 4,000 years, we have been pushed to assimilate, to lose our identity. We have been forced to be like them. But we are that mosaic that is very essential to the great, that piece for the mosaic, that we are making a huge picture. And when we lose our flavor, we lose our colors, we lose our shape, we destroy the mosaic of God. That's why we are so important. And each one of you that you are in this group, you are special in the eyes of the Creator. Reread over and over again Psalm 139, my beautiful son. You and I, which has been made in a marvelous way. No one of us is a product of a mistake. Whatever we are, whatever situation, and even limitations that we have. Because that makes us special. But we don't need to think like us, we the center of the universe, but we need to think that everyone, every creation of God is important, including even the animals, including about his creation. That's the reason I am not against ecology. I am against lack of responsibility. You know, when the Creator make Adam and Eve, gave it the role of supervisor of his creation. And we have the responsibility to be responsible, to take care. But doesn't mean that we need to be obsessed with certain things or to be fanatics about certain things. Let me now encapsulate. I have gone from the North Pole to the Antarctic, okay? And now I need to bring you back to the equator, to the center. Sorry, but I like to go around and around, and you know that that's my way to teach. Each one belongs to one of the tribes of Israel, to say to you in this way, and only to give you a picture. Now each one has a function. The Creator has made us in a special way for something special. And it is a responsibility to find what we are made for and what is our role. And maybe you're already doing it and you don't realize that that's your role. because you think you can do something else. And you are very unhappy with who you are, supposedly, because you don't give value to who you are. And the Creator is teaching you about who you are. You know, in the what do you call it, in the Mishachim Yehudim Ketuvim, in the Messianic writing, what they call it, the New Testament. I call it Rabbi Shaul. I wish that most of the people understand Rabbi Shaul, not as a Christian, but as a good Jew, no? Who brought back to us many good things and was distorted in many ways after the time. But that is another thing that I don't want to. But he says something in one of his letters. Everybody stay according to the way that they have been called. In other words, you don't need to be superhuman. You don't need Superman or Superwoman to follow the Creator. The way that you are is what the Creator made you. Now, look in yourself the good things that you have, that God has made you, and apply those things and use it for the glory of the Creator. Don't say, I don't have anything to give. You will be surprised how many of us we have given so much already without realizing that we are giving a lot. You know, one of the areas that I admire now that I am dealing with my mother, you know, and she is alone and she is in elderly care place on her own. And I was thinking about my mother, even now that she's losing her mind, and I start looking at her. All to me, my mother is my own hero. She did so much for us, and she's a woman, a shehail, a woman of value, of valor. How many women there has been giving their life for the children, for the families, and they don't receive any kind of glorification, you know, and how many men who they didn't do much, but they are glorified like the great heroes. We need to start looking more about our true heroes, not those ones that they sell us or give us to us, but those ones that they have done their calling, what God made them for, their job of being themselves and being light to others, being help to others. You know, how wonderful it be that we are recognized, because usually it's after we die, then they say he was good or he was bad. Usually, always you're good after you die. No, but at least being recognized that we did the best that we could, and we were a good thing for our community, for our people. That's what God wants from each one of us. Thank you so much for this wonderful Shabbat. It's tremendous. We have John Jerusalem we just passed, and this time recognizing, and I will challenge all of you to think better about yourself and to try to find the role that the Creator has given to you in this community, in this society, you know, and never ever look down upon who you are. Totally the contrary. Be grateful. you have been able to participate, and you're working, and you're growing, and you're doing something good. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Shabbat shalom to all of you.